News for people who can't stand the news.
Hello, I'm Tim Black. You're tuned into News for people who can't stand the news. Last night on the Tim Black at Night show, that'd be a night show hosted by this guy, me, Tim Black, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, right here. Tune in, be there. We talked about Bill Cosby filing a counter lawsuit against 7 of his accusers. Relying solely on unsubstantiated accusations, counterclaim defendants have engaged in a campaign to assassinate Mr. Cosby's reputation and character by willfully, maliciously, and falsely accusing Mr. Cosby of multi-decade-old purported sexual misconduct. The 78-year-old actor's attorney wrote in court papers charging the women with defamation, tortious interference, and intentional infliction of emotional distress. Bill Cosby strikes back. Bill Cosby strikes back. Bill Cosby strikes back. But see, I didn't understand that this has all been done on a time schedule. In fact, Bill Cosby is neither late nor early in filing this defamation lawsuit. It's right on time. See, once the woman accused Bill Cosby, he lets all of the depositions arrive, all of the accusations be leveled. He makes a counterclaim. Once he denied their allegations and they sued him for saying that they were lying, then now that opens them up to countersuits. Monique Pressley is a very good spokesperson for Mr. Cosby, and she, as his lawyer, has spoke out and said some things I think need to be said. I had to ask one question. What do the effects of Quaaludes really cause? And do we even know these women even had Quaaludes? I remember a time picking up a fifth of Hennessy for me in a date or a date night. That didn't mean that I was going to pour the bottle into her glass without her knowing. I mean, we'd both drink from the bottle and get tore down and forget what we did. This was a long time ago. Can't use it against me now. Or can you? And see, that's part of the problem. Well, we talked about this at great length yesterday on the show. And I got to say this. I got to say it. I don't know if everyone's lying, but Tamara Green, the 17-year-old who says that Bill Cosby put her through college, but he raped her repeatedly while paying her college tuition year after year after year after year. Teresa Siriganese, Linda Traits, Joan Tarshish, Barbara Bowen, Louisa Moritz, and Angela Leslie. Now, I'm not going to say that I know if these women were raped or to what extent their claims are true or false. I'm just going to say it sounds a little fishy. Just a little bit fishy. In Beverly Johnson, hey man, we just got to keep it real. Beverly Johnson always sounded like she was auditioning for a new position on some new talk show or a reality show or something. All she was missing was theme music and wind blowing through her weave. That's just my opinion. Well, I am happy that Bill Cosby's fighting back, that Bill Cosby wants to reclaim his legacy. He probably had no intention of laying down. It's just that I was impatient, like many others, to see him strike back. You know, someone said to me, they said, Tim, Mr. Black, you were upset about Daniel Holtzclaw. Those women accused him, but you believed it. Why? Why? Is it because Daniel Holtzclaw is white? I mean, Asian? Well, let me tell you the difference between the Bill Cosby case and the Daniel Holtzclaw case. First of all, these women, they told immediately. They filed police reports. Well, most of them did. Some of them did. Some of them filed police reports. Even though this was an officer that they were afraid of, they had enough courage. And some of them who had been in the system before, some of them who had been on drugs, still felt courageous enough to file paperwork. Now, the cops chose not to pay attention until it was filed by a woman who had a more of a credible disposition, but that's one of the differences between Bill Cosby and these women. A lot of these women didn't file anything for 30 years, 20 years. The other thing, the allegations made by the 13 women against Mr. Holtzclaw came with physical evidence. Most of the women said he took them certain locations. We were able to track those locations to the GPS in his vehicle. Now, if these women were lying, they could have been lying about everything because they knew where the car went. Now, let's just say all of these women tailed his car somehow and were able to give dates and times of where the vehicle was without them actually being in the vehicle. Well, hell, you got to admit there's something to it. There also was DNA evidence on Mr. Holtzclaw's genital area attaching him to the one victim who was underage. You know we have no physical evidence on Bill Cosby, right? It's all hearsay. I mean, all hearsay. Every bit of it. Once again, I don't know if Bill Cosby did anything, and neither do you. But we do have a presumption of innocence, which has been gone out the window, and mostly just by the sheer number of allegations. Not that any of the allegations are more credible, just because there's more of them. Well, I'm for one, we'll be sitting back to see what happens with this case. Is it so wrong for me to hope that Bill Cosby's innocent? Or would you rather these women actually had been violated? I'd rather it all be a hoax. I would rather that. Because that would mean almost 60 women are liars instead of victims. And Bill Cosby would be the victim. Interesting, right?